is Lana Ahmad. I am the principal of the Muslim Community Primary School. We have organized this march this morning. It's a healing process in the death of the little boy from our school, Daniel Matura. It's a reaction to that, but it's also calling on all members of society in every sphere of the society, regardless of where you work or where you come from. What affects one affects all. And I believe that we need to come together and solve the issue, an issue that is affecting every one of us in the society. I do not see the Colby Foundation as the prison today. I see us out here as a bigger prison. We're all prisoners in our homes. We're all prisoners held hostage in everywhere, wherever we live, wherever we work, we're held hostages. And we from the Muslim community, our school, who is made up of Muslim students and also children from other denominations, have come together and say, you know what, enough is enough. We want peace, we want justice, and we want it now. And we are demanding that the powers that be address it. We're also calling on parents to do their job and raise their children the right way, because this what is happening is as a result of what is happening in the homes. I think there's too much negligence, too much delinquency with parenting, and I think they have to start doing their jobs. Stop blaming the government for things, stop blaming different agencies. Let's start looking at ourselves individually and start making the changes, because there's a saying that says, if it's to be, it's up to me. So as a parent, I believe that's my responsibility to make sure I bring my children up the right way. But when I bring my children up the right way, I don't want that my children end up interacting with other children who are so misbehaved, so delinquent, so don't have the correct values, and then they affect my children, or vice versa. If I am negligent in my parenting, it means that my children will grow up to be delinquent children, and affect other people's children, and it's not fair. So as parents, we all have a responsibility. Primary responsibility is the rearing of our children. See, we cannot leave that to anybody else, and as a society, we are each responsible for what happens to these children when we come in contact with them. If I'm walking the street and I see a child out of line doing something that is not right, my job is to stop, take some time, and address that issue. If the child gets angry and say, I'm going to tell my ma, okay, you can go tell your mother, but I am also your mother, so you need to listen. And I believe that, like in the past, if I do something wrong and I go and somebody scold me, I go home and I tell my parent is going to say, well, if you were behaving yourself, that lady or that man would not have stopped and checked you. So, we get checked again at home. But today, it's like, what is happening? Nobody, if it's not my child, it's not my business. No, a child is everybody's business. What happens to one affects everybody. I believe that a government is elected in order to serve the will and the best interests of the people. I believe that government has a duty to create employment and also to create an environment where employment can be created. I believe that the financial institutions has a mandate or a duty to assist entrepreneurs in opening businesses so that they can also create the employment, to accommodate those young people, those young persons who would like to, who wants to work, and also those who want to open up their own little businesses. Because if we, in the absence of that, this is what we have, this violence, because the young people have absolutely nothing to do. They need an outlet, and they need a positive outlet. There's a saying that says, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and this is what is happening here. The violence is as a result of young people having nothing to do, and in that vacuum, they think of the evil things. They want to survive as well. Many times it's robbing, and they rob because they are in need. Not justifying crime. There's no way I'm justifying crime, but I'm trying to understand what is happening and how we can address it. I think that government has a job to do, immediate, urgent job to do in order to ensure that something happens in terms of creating those avenues for our young people. You know, the educational system, there has to be a situation, and I am aware, as a principal, as an educator myself, I am aware that the Ministry of Education is trying its utmost best to help fill the vacuum, but there's a lot more to be done. We need so much more to be done because we still have a high dropout rate in our primary schools, and especially in our high schools. Those children that started off in primary school, a lot of them drop out, and those who started in high school, many of them do not complete high school, and those are the children that are at risk. We need to address those issues, keep the children in school, get them educated, and later on they have hopes for a better future. This is the only way out of poverty: education. They have to have an education. And I think if we look at countries like Barbados that have free education from preschool up to university level, why is it that we can't do it in Belize? We have an oil company now in Belize. Why in heaven's name can't we have free education from preschool right up to university level? If it's the right of the child to an education, how does a child get an education if there's no money? Education is so expensive in Belize. You know, you want to send your children to school, you're looking at thousands of dollars to enter high school. This is crazy. How can they? The average person can't. So you find that they might start, they might owe a bill, and they can't continue because that bill is not paid. The child end up dropping out of school. The government, the Ministry of Education is trying, but the Ministry of Education can't find everything. We have industries in Belize, and especially our oil industry that we have now. I think that, listen, we have the capacity to ensure that each of our students go beginning preschool up to the university level and get it free. You know, they're doing it in Cuba, free education. Cuba is almost 100% high literacy rate. We have Barbados, like I said. I mean, it is one of the most excellent country that we can look at in terms of education and literacy. It's very high. So I think the government has to have the will for this to happen. But how can the government have the will when the government is made up of us, the people? We're the ones who put them there. We have to put pressure on them. We, the people, have to put pressure on the government to make sure the government does what it is supposed to do. Get things done that is in the best interest of this nation. What are they waiting for? Is it until one of their children get hit? Is it until one of them get hit? No, it is not right. We don't want to see that happen to anybody or anybody's child. What I'm saying is that if you are elected to office and you're in a leadership position now, you're in the hot seat, do what you have to do. If you can't deal with it, then you need to get out and let somebody else deal with it. That's my take on it. I'm a leader in my school, and I believe that this initiative that we've taken, it hasn't come that easy, but we had to have the will to do it. Because you look at the weather, you look at the logistics of doing something like this. If you start finding excuses, you'll never get it done. But we say, you know what? We embrace the idea. Let's go for it. And it was just yesterday it came up, and we said, and today we're here. You know, the child was killed on Monday. There was no school on Monday. We had no time to organize really the way we wanted to. But we said, let's capture the moment and use this momentum.
Stop the killing! What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Stop the killing! Stop the killing! Stop the killing! Stop the killing! What do we want?
Peace and justice!
When do we want it?
No!
Stop the killing!
No!
Stop the killing!
No!
Stop the killing!
No!
Stop the killing!
I know that there's a perception that this is the culture of our city. This is not, and it has not always been like this. I grew up in a safe society. I grew up where we could have go to the park feeling safe. We went to matinees. We went to visit different places, and we were all safe with our parents. Our parents could have sent us to the corner shop, and we were safe going and coming back. We never had this kind of situation. This is a recent phenomenon, and it's happening. I believe it's because of the whole poverty situation, the economics right now, and I think the masses of our people have been neglected, and this is a reaction to that. This is as a result of that. But it has not always been like this. And Belize, generally, people come here and we still move around the city. We don't feel as safe as we used to be. But this is why we are trying to address this now. And there have been other movements that are trying to address it as well. We're not the first, and I'm certain we won't be the last. And this movement, this action this morning is not just for today. We're going to have something else coming out of this, God willing. But what we know is that young people are angry. Young people are reaching out and crying out. I think this whole thing that is this whole violence, all this crime and violence, is if you look deeply into it, like the poets would look into different situations and see more than the average person would see. I'm seeing pain. I'm seeing a cry for help. I am seeing we are here. We are also in need. Help us. And we are seeing that, all right, nobody care. Okay, this is what I have to do, which is not a good message because others are affected. So I believe that each and every one of us have a role to play. Our children begin, our society starts from in the home. We branch out. We have our elected officials. We have the different agencies. Everybody, it's everybody's business. So I am calling on people, individuals in the society. Let's reach out and let's come together as a society and make the changes. It has happened in Liberia. And women in Liberia, they came together, Christians and Muslims came together and made a difference. And you know what was happening in there? Like the killing and the rapes, the murders, it was horrible. And the women, they came together and say, you know what, enough is enough, it's time to stop. So this can happen right here because we have not reached that point as yet. We don't want to reach there. It is terrible, but we don't want to reach there, so we can stop it now. We have the power to do so, but we need the will. We are in talks right now with other principals from other schools, and we're trying to see what we can come up with in terms of continuity. We don't want this just to stop today. So we are planning on forming a movement. That will entail a lot of logistics. It will entail a lot of financing as well, which we don't have. And we welcome anybody who wants to join this cause to create the changes that is necessary for the survival of our children, our youth. You know, we want people to become a part of this, and we encourage them to become a part of it. If anybody's out there who would like to assist us and become a part of this process, we ask you to contact us on Facebook at Muslim Community Primary School. Just type in the Muslim Community Primary School and they will be able to access our page. They can also call us at the school at 207-5589 in order to make contact and to make their contribution or to become a part of. We are going to be putting information out on our Facebook page about what we are doing and reaching out to others to become a part of this process. Because this is a community movement. This is not about us. This is about a community that is crying out, that needs the changes for its betterment.
What do we want? Peace and justice. When do we want?